In this video, we're gonna focus on integration. Before we solve a question here on integration, let's take the definition of integration. Please write. Integration is the inverse of differentiation. Integration is the inverse of differentiation. It is the process of moving from derivatives to the function. It is the process of moving from derivatives to the function. That means in integration, they will give you the derivatives and the answer will be the function. Please take note of that. Okay. Now, before we solve some questions here in integration, let's take the two types of integrals. Please write. There are two types of integrals. There are two types of integrals. The first one here is indefinite. The first one here is indefinite integral. The second one is definite integral. Note that integration can be denoted by elongated s. So whenever you see this sign here in calculus, it represents integration. Please take note. So let's take the definition of indefinite integral. Let's know more about indefinite integral and definite integral before we take a question on the first one there, which is indefinite integral. If I have integral, that is, this is an integral without the upper boundary and without the lower boundary, we call that particular integral indefinite integral. Whenever we have integral without the upper boundary and without the lower boundary, we call that integral indefinite integral. But whenever we have an integral with upper boundary, this is a, and lower with upper boundary, which is b, and lower boundary, which is a, we call that integral definite integral. Please take note. So let's take the first one here. Please write indefinite integral. Let's take a note here, class. Integral without upper and lower boundary is known as indefinite integral. That is integral of f of s ds. So whenever you have integral without upper boundary and without lower boundary as of this, we call that integral indefinite integral. Before we solve a question here on integration, please listen to me carefully. Before we solve a question here on integration, please listen to me carefully. We have to consider the functions. We have to consider various functions and their pattern of integration. Before we solve a question here on integration, we have to consider various functions and their pattern of integration. Please take note. So let's consider the first function here, monomial and polynomial functions. So in this video, we're gonna focus on how to integrate monomial and polynomial functions. Please write monomial and polynomial functions. Let's know what monomial function is, and also let's know what polynomial function is. Whenever we have a function that consists of one digit, a letter, and a power, we consider that function to be a monomial function. If we have something like this class, as raised to power of n, this a here is standing as a digit, this is a letter of which is s, and this n represent power. So whenever we have an expression or a function in this form here, we call it a monomial function. So if I have something like this class 2s raised to power of 3, this consists of one digit, a letter, and a power. Please take note. So we call this a monomial function. But the question now is, how do we integrate a monomial function? If I have integral of as raised to power of n ds, to integrate this here, this is the pattern we integrate a monomial function. You add 1 to the power and divide with the new power. So I will have this to be class as raised to power of n plus 1 over n plus 1. So we have this particular integral to be indefinite integral. So at the end of integration of indefinite integral, we plus it up with a constant, which is plus c. Please take note. So whenever you integrate a monomial function, at the end of it, you plus it with c. Please take note. So this is a pattern we integrate monomial functions. So for polynomial functions, is a combination of 2 or more monomial functions. So to integrate that, we integrate that 10 by 10, that is 1 by 1. Please take note. Let's take a question here to understand this properly. Question 1, please. Let's solve this question here. They said, question 1, find the integral of 4s raised to the power of 3 minus 6s plus 4. When you are given a question on integration, the first thing to do is to identify the function. And different functions have different format or pattern of integrating that function. Please take note. So this function here consists of 2 or more monomial functions. So we have this to be polynomial functions. So to integrate this here, I will integrate this 1 by 1. That is, integrate this, you have an answer, minus integrate this. When you get to this here, this is a constant because there's no attachment of letter to it. So the integral of a constant is adding a letter to it. The differentiation of a constant, please don't mistake this, please. The differentiation of a constant is equal to 0. So the integration of a constant is adding a letter to it. Please take note. So let's solve this, please. Solution. So I have integral of 4s raised to the power of 3 minus 6s plus 4 ds. I will integrate this 1 by 1, integrate this using this pattern here, class. I will add 1 to the power, I will divide with the new power. So I will have this to be class 4s raised to the power of 3 plus 1 over 3 plus 1 minus, that this minus here, 6, there's an invisible one here, please take note, s raised to the power of 1 plus 1 over 1 plus 1. So class, plus, this is a constant because there's no attachment of letter to it. The integral of a constant is multiplying s to it. Please take note. So multiply s to this constant letter here, constant digit here. This will be 4s. So class, let's simplify this here. Let's simplify this here, please. So we have something like this, class. 4s, 3 plus 1 is 4 over 4 minus 6s raised to the power of 1 plus 1 is 2 over 2 plus 4s. The integral is an indefinite integral, so I'll plot this with c. Okay, we can divide here, this we cancel this, I'll be left with s raised to the power of 4. This divide this, I'll be left with minus 3s squared plus 4s plus c. So class, this is my answer. Now next video, we're gonna focus on exponential function of integration. All you have to do to get the full video or to participate fully is to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification button. Okay, thank you.